Alright guys, just got this beautiful Hublot Spirit of Big Bang in. Very nice condition. And now we are going to test the functions, make sure everything's okay so that I can pay the customer who sold this to me and we can be on our way. So we just need to make sure everything works. So first thing, once I aesthetically check everything, which this is clean, it's as described, aren't really any marks on it, is we're going to unscrew the crown and then we're going to wind it, which this is impossible to explain or see on video, but it should be a smooth wind. If there's problems, which this doesn't happen too often, it'll be a really crunchy kind of wind and it won't feel luxurious is the best way to put it. So this is a really smooth wind. We're good to go on that. Next, I want to see how the date goes as far as changing the long way. So we're going to bring it out one more position and we're going to flip this around. It's probably not going to be on this 12. Nope, it's going to be on the next 12. So flip this around and let's see. You'll see the date right here in the lower right corner. Let's see when that flips. Does it flip exactly on 12? Yeah, pretty good. Okay, so now we're going to bring it to 6 so that the wheel is disengaged on the date, and we're going to flip this around all the way. So as you can see here, because sometimes you will have issues with the date changing, and as you can see, this is nice and smooth, no issues here. Perfect. Yeah, no issues at all. This date wheel is working great. You can even see how it works in the upper right. So that's good. After that, we check the timing, which I already did before this video. The timing is great. And finally, a very, very common problem with not Hublot, but really any watch is the chronograph. As far as this not zeroing, and if you'll notice, this is perfectly zero. Sometimes you'll get these and it'll be on the 1 second mark or it'll be on the 59-second mark, and that's not acceptable because you might be okay with it now, but in 4 to 6 months it'll get worse and worse, and then you have a major problem that ends up costing you, $1,000. So it's very important that the chronograph is functioning as it's intended to and it zeroes properly. So best way to test this is you're just going to press the button, obviously, and we're going to reset it between the 15 to 20 second mark, and then we're also going to reset it at the 45-second mark, because sometimes it'll mess up on either side of the watch. So reset it there, perfect. And now we're going to do the 45-second mark. After that, you'll notice down here you have the minutes for the chrono. This subdial is for the minutes on the chronograph. So when this hits the 1 minute mark, this 30 is going to go, just a notch further to the 1 minute. Once it goes over 30 minutes, you have a subdial down here that's for hours, right? Let me just move this so that you can see it. There we go. So there you have the subdial for hours, and so once you're at the 30-minute mark and it goes around one time, this will go to 1 here, and then 2, and then 3, and then finally you're at the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hour mark. I don't recommend running this all the time because that's the way these Hublots or any watch gets issues, is you're constantly running this chrono. So you shouldn't be constantly running this. This should really only be to time things. Sometimes I might time, something in a workout, or might time something when I'm cooking, right? You're not really going to be timing things for hours, because when you do that, you just tend to forget about it. And then the watch is running for days. And once this chronograph is running from days at a time, there's a spring on the inside of the watch that it really wears down on. And once that wears down, then you start having problems with the chronograph. So you need to remember that, right? So now let's stop here. You'll notice this is after the 1 minute mark. I'm not going to, obviously run this for hours on video, but we have it at the 45-second mark. So let's reset it, make sure it sets to 0. It does, and as far as I'm concerned, this watch is good to go. We've tested the timing, we've looked at all of the aesthetics, which is great. There's just one tiny little hairline down here, which I can easily polish out and it'll be perfect. We've tested the chrono function, we've tested the date wheel, and this watch is good to go. It's very clean.